Wow. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Start into a hand. Put me here. I want them to put me here. Fantastic. Wow. Yeah. Gonna be making it happen. We are helping the nature. Wow. Exactly. Guys, it's a way of moving forward. And we have to strategize. We have to understand that when we are helping in terms of health issues, you understand the toilet is having an impact of sanitation and such kind of the way. So you can imagine the aged people there, where are they going to the toilet? Are they using whenever, okay, right now, we can talk about there's a maize fields here. They're going to be going to the maize fields, eh? But when now we harvest the maize, where are they going? Eh? You are passing through a way and you get a very aged person is squatting in an open zone. How are you going to be taking it? And that's why I always talk about let us not live in the legacy that much of the people prevail to talk about. We have to rechannel ourselves. But we are talking about the hard work, the hardships we are passing through is what is making us to have this kind of the legacy. And the pathways we are just making, it's the way forward. If we struggle for them, because right now they don't have the energy even to carry one spade of sand and get somewhere. So if we are reluctant and talking about, oh, because Gintu is getting much of the money to build the toilets, to build and to support much of the people, you are becoming so jealousy about whatever you can, even you can do it. Nobody has refused that you cannot do the charity, but try your best. Whenever the money gonna be democratizing at you, they will understand the strategy of Gintu. They will understand it. Because much of the people think about, oh, whenever they see Gintu is having. So sometimes we have to comply on ourselves. We have to make it happen on ourselves. And this is the legacy. Wow. We have to make it happen. Yeah. I've reached here. Wagwan. We are moving, guys. That's a one bucket. But more and more to go. Hello beautiful people, welcome back. It's underscore Gintu back again to the root of today. And here I am, it's in the town. Talk about not even a town, it's a city, the third largest city in Kenya. I'm in Kisumu, at Kisumu city, at this kind of the fantastic area. So you can even see how the area is just looking so characteristically good. At this kind of the position, guys, I've just make sure that when we want to we have so many modes of transport here. And to the real fact about today, I've just wondered that recently I've never knew that even a talk about a bicycle has much of the work to do at this kind of the point here. So the good fact about today is it has been of a high demand. Even the motorbikes are everywhere, but to get a bike, talk about a bike, it's becoming so a way of just you have to wait, like you have to go on a queue. So good date is today I'm just having a gentleman here. Hi man, how are you? Everything is good? Fantastic. Guys, today I'm just been using much of the bicycle here. Wow, where are we stepping, bro? Oh, it has the stepping area. It has some of the stepping area here. Exactly. So we are going, and I like this kind of an exercise. I think it's an exercise and also an adventure. So today is today, tomorrow gonna be another day. So we're gonna be getting an adventure here a little bit so you can just go and see, and we have to be so punctual from behind. So today I'm just having an adventure using a bicycle. Wow. Wow. So this is a mode of transport. Imagine it's just happening in the city. Yet at my home there, I was born whenever I was just a small boy. Now it's the time I was just checking much of the people are using this kind of the bicycles to ride, and the ones that were having much of the high demand. But the motorbikes came and took over the game. By today still, we are having them talk about the bicycles and to this kind of the city, which is making me to be frightened a little bit and talk about, oh my living God, this is happening here. So everything is fantastic and the environment is very, very awesome at this kind of particular moment. So we are just making it happen, and we are just riding so they can just go. It's just an adventure. Eh? Wow. Very soft. Very soft. Guys, it's a very, very awesome time and a very awesome way. Guys, welcome to the county number 47, number 42 exactly, which is Kisumu city, and I'm just feeling the vibe of today a little bit here, having a talk about a bicycle, because it's just something that it's very new, and to much of the people are just and to where we are, much of the people, they have never been dreaming that, oh, a bicycle has a work right now in the city. But even a bicycle has much of even the bumps, they are very slow, and I think this is the mode of transport which is so slow, and a little bit to talk about it doesn't have any kind of the pollution. So the good thing is what we are trying to do, even whenever we have some summits, that whenever they talk about the global change, I think the bicycle is part of the program whereby the global change is just affected at this kind of the moment. So we are just feeling the vibe here a little bit to make sure that we are just having a little 2-3 walk here, so you can just see how the city is looking for. So we're gonna be making sure that everything is so fantastic. So today I'm just coming with you to an adventure of today, so you can just check even at the cities. We are having something that we can never even entitled to understand. Much of the people will just be talking about, wow, a bicycle, yeah, it's doing much of the work, and I think it's the one of the safest mode of transport, and to this kind of, but it is slow. Even whenever we're just learning about the ancient mode of transport, the ancient time, they are talking about people are just sitting on the donkeys. People are just doing much of the things, and talk about the transport of use of animals, use of cat. You understand, not the cat of the pussycat, no, the cat of the mkokoteni, exactly. So the good thing is this is the way still in the city we have this one. So I don't know if there are some of the donkeys, I think even right today we have some of the donkeys still doing this kind of the mode of transport, because there's a time I went to a place called Sori when I was having some adventure. Then I saw donkeys. They were just doing much of the mode of transport, as they were just taking or fetching. They're just using them to go and fetch much of water. I like about it, and it's one of the way of the easiest way of us to go. So it's just very slow. Even sometimes the good thing about the city is that it doesn't have much of you can talk about oh, it has some of the hilly, no, it doesn't have such kind of the hilly slopes. Maybe you can even say check on how the city is. So we are just having an adventure here at the city to make sure that everything is so fantastic here. So we are still ongoing with the journey, because we are just moving to a destination that are gonna be a drive, because I've just told him that today it's me and him. Wow, they're having much of the work to do here. Very fantastic, very fantastic. Just installing the pipings for water, things for the water system, I think so, exactly. So everything is so good, guys, at this kind of the way, and we are making it happen. We are rotating, and we are just making sure that we're gonna be coming to you more effectively, and this is the way forward. Wow. So guys, for you to get a bicycle, it's a very unique. You have to wait until you get an order. Talk about, okay, you have to be the person you have to contact has to be called, so you can just be given this kind of a very fantastic ride. But it's very awesome, I think so. But it's my first time to have a bicycle doing this kind of the mode of transport. But we are feeling the vibe, yeah. And the good thing is the people are so well trained, because you cannot if you know that you cannot even ride a little bit of a bike, it's something that on our time I can just talk about. Yeah, we are now approaching at the talk about I think this is where now the beaches is. Talk about the Lake Victoria basin. It's just, this is the water that's just at this kind of the position. So we have just reached where now the water is, so we can just make sure that we are adventurizing, and we are very slow. We don't have much of the speed. Where are we going? Today is today, tomorrow gonna be another day. So we are here to make sure that we are adventuring. So people who are just in Kisumu, make sure that we are just available. We are available. Yeah, I think water is very, very crystal clear, and it doesn't have much of the effect, but it's just a very big leakage there. And I think now this is the zone of even the breezes that are just coming in. I think they're just coming from I think it's just a lake very soon here, and we're gonna be checking on what is really coming out at this kind of the fantastic way, and we're gonna be really enjoying and enjoy the content of today, because it's one-on-one. the bike on the mod, and this is just the beginning. Hello beautiful people, back again to this kind of the regime again. So today I've just reached this kind of an area. What's the name of this area, man?
This area is called Donga Beach.
Donga Beach.
Yes.
Much of the music here, clubs and water.
Yeah, and
dancing,
also fish.
Also fishing.
Yes. And
so here we are. You are just going to be having two types of the rides. Yes. Talk about the manual ride and automatic ride.
Yeah.
Exactly. So which one would you bestly talk about you're going to be using?
So me I prefer the automatic one.
The automatic one.
Because most of the clients doesn't know how to use the manual one.
The manual.
Yeah,
so is the client going to be using the manual, or you are the one who has to ride with the manual operation?
So maybe the service you want. Let's say you want the manual one or the automatic one. Yes.
So you're going to be very perfect here. Yeah. So guys, we're going to be having a little bit of this kind of a boat ride a little bit here. So we're going to be, you've seen even the Jack there.
Captain.
He's called the captain.
Yeah, yes, captain.
So are you part of the program or him?
We were together with him, but you are going with, now as per now, you are going with him.
Exactly. Yes. There's no problem, bro. Let me have an adventure here. Oh, this one can stay here. Yeah, no problem. Exactly, man. Let me be in. Woo. Fantastic. Guys, gonna be an adventure here. Very fantastic. Woo. Wagwan. So guys, we're gonna be having an adventure to make sure that we're just checking on how everything is just moving at this kind of particular moment here. And we're having a corner here. Wow. We want to go to the far end to make sure that we're just getting, but this kind of an area. Water is a little bit very high. Guys, it's called a Donga Beach here. And we're gonna be having some good experience at this particular moment. Oh. This is the way forward, exactly. Wow. Fantastic. Long chase. Guys, we're gonna be getting an adventure. Want to get a very far point so you can just know what's really how much of the people getting to adventure into the area here. I see much of the boats inside here. I think they're being put with some of the anchors here, and everything is so fantastic. The breezes are coming like a safari rally here, and I like about it here. So it's one of the unique ways of the transport, because I came with a bicycle, and whenever I've just reached here, it's gonna be so fantastic on how the things are just moving at this kind of particular moment. And it's just a leisure a little bit, because I've just finished the business that I came with to do here, and right now it's just an adventure time. You can just see, bro, ni wapi wanatuanga samaki sahi? Hakuna tani wavuvi wamerudi wote. Hakuna wanyama. Unaona hiyo boti hiyo? Oh, they are coming back. Yeah. Guys, you can see from the front there, you will think about walienda saa 8 usiku. They went around 2 in the morning. Fantastic. So I think it looks like Jesus is coming. You can just tell that this kind of the boats are the ones that are driven with much of the wind, and they are used in terms of Judas Iscariot. But they are making sense still, and you can even see they're just sailing more properly, and everything is so fantastic. I like about how they're just operating it here. Oh, and it's just moving using the wind here. And some of they're having some of Hey bro, hey, what is this here, man?
This was a restaurant that is around 15 years back.
A restaurant?
Yeah.
15 years back?
Yeah.
So it means that the water has invaded the land?
Yeah.
So this was a restaurant here. Inside the water. You can now imagine.
Back then there was no water over here.
Oh, there's no water was around here. So it's now moving.
Because of increase in water level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now it's now an habitat of some mongoose here. Hey, they're just called herons. Fantastic. I think this water, much of the fish will be around this kind of the zone because of this kind of the fishes every time east, west, and south here. Wow. Fantastic. Guys, I like this kind of the adventure, because I cannot see to the far point. Cannot see to this far point because water, it has invaded everywhere. I like this kind of the movement of this kind of the nature, and it's very, very awesome. Fantastic. Woo. You can even see much of the people are just adventurizing there and making sure that everything is so fantastic at this kind of the position. Wow. We are going very slow to make sure that we're gonna be even checking what are those kind of the people. Zile ni boti ziko huko?
No. That's a fish farm. Fish cages.
Oh, those are fish cages.
Yeah, that's why we do the fish farming.
Oh, but we can pass through there?
Yeah, that's why I'm heading to the...
Can we interrogate with 1 or 2 people there?
You can't find them. They come early in the morning. But now there's no one in the farm because of the sun.
Oh, is it meant for one person or a community?
No, there are some for communities, some for individuals, some for the circles.
Okay.
So it depends.
So guys, there's a time I was ever talking about we have fishing zones. And sasa tunazapata wapi samaki?
Samaki? Sahi kupata sahi ni ngumu.
Wapi kuna vitonga kokoro? Kokoro.
Kokoro?
Hapa kuna ile wanaekanga mbali afu wanavuta na kamba.
Hiyo inakuwa ya usiku.
Usiku. So guys,
sahi kila mtu when you land fishing, they are already back.
They're already back. Because of the wave or
no? The fishmongers need to buy the fish from them. Then they go and make it. They go and sell at the roadside.
Okay.
That's why they have to come back early.
So right now, that's why I'm asking you, can we get fish?
From the lake?
For us to buy?
Yeah.
We can find.
The market is there.
Oh, the market is there.
For the fishermen, they are not here.
Expensive? Not expensive. Wow.
That's a fair price.
It's a fair price, eh? Exactly. Guys, I told you about in terms of the cages, it's a part of the system that is used to drain much of the fish. So today I'm giving you one-on-one ride to where now the cages are, and I want to show you how the cages are being placed in terms of water, so they can just make sure that people are harvesting as much fish as possible. And they are placed very far from the shore. You can even see where the shore is. So they are placed very far from the shore, so as and they are just guarded. You cannot talk about, oh, I want to go there and fish much of the fish. No, you can never steal because water is open, and some people can just see. Much of the people have CCTVs and everything like that. Even much of the people have some we can call them solar CCTVs, and also the lightings, and nobody can do some things. And the good thing is they are movable, so you can find that they are moving from one place to another. Right now they are moving. That's the fantastic way of them. And how are they moving with this kind of the fish inside? It's part of the program, very fantastic program that is also adventured at this kind of particular time. Yes, hello. Vipi? Aya, nkare hata so kirikare sasa Donga Beach. Nku beach ni kidogo. Nitigira ne mbata yulwa sombete asa ukimbuli niwe. Sawa. Oh, iyo nenda gote bitu endinge. Aya. Guys, they are floating cages, eh? They are called floating. You can see they are just floating, and they are movable. This kind of the stuff they are moving, eh?
No.
They're not moving? They're just shaking there. So it means that they have an anchor.
You can see there's a rope going down.
Oh, there's a rope going down.
The edge of it.
So you cannot find it at the beach there.
Yeah, they're anchored.
Yeah, you can even see, guys, how the cage is looking, and also it's just enclosed at the top to make sure that look at, even right now there's a heron. I'll talk about a heron that is just looking for the fish inside here. But they will know that it's a very deep. It's very deep because of what the good thing about this kind of the system is that they are very deep in a way that this kind of the currents, you can even see the currents of water, how they are. It means that this kind of the currents of water, they are making them to have aeration. There's so much aeration in terms of we have this kind of the bubbling and the water currents, how they're just moving this kind of the cages. So you can just have as big as you think, as big as you can, to make sure that everything is so fantastic at this particular time. So there are so many in terms of this kind of an area, and much of the people, this is where much of the fish are coming from, and you should protect yours. If you see like this one is just uncovered, it means that it has been harvested already. So they have to access this kind of an area. The good thing is you have to access this area while you have a boat, and you cannot access the area while you are just not having anything, so you can just come here. So the good thing is even a person to swim from that far end and come to still here, it will be not a serious way. And it's becoming so hectic for a person to do that one. So that's why you see they're just onto this. You can even see there, they're just having some solar and lighting. So as no one can just come and interfere. Oh, nyumba ya watchman. Lakini chini? It's for a security then. Yeah, security. Wow. Wow. This is how the area is looking like, and it's very good adventure. Very good adventure. Fantastic. Wow. Much of the people will be asking about, oh, Gintu, can you tell us about how the movement is? And they're going to be talking about, oh, Gintu, how are this kind of the cages in water effective at this kind of the point? This kind of the cages, for the real fact about how they are just working, you can even see how they are. Yeah, you can even see how they are. So they are just put with much of the trams here to make sure that there's nothing going to be affecting them. But you have much of the predators. You have to cover it on top because of the predators are going to be affecting this kind of the area. So that's why they're just covered that way. So I like about to study about this kind of the program, talk about the fish farming and how much of the people do the fish farming. You can never get them right now here. But the good thing is they're feeding the fish there. That's the good fact about it. They're feeding the fish there. And I like this kind of an adventure. Even we have some tires here for emergency purposes here. You have to swim like a safari rally here, because this is Lake Victoria, largest lake in I think it's the largest lake in Africa, and the second largest in the world lake. And the good thing about it is a fresh water lake. So we are having different types of fish that are going to be harvested from this kind of the spot here. I talk about tilapia, I talk about Nile perches, I talk about we have mudfish here, we have catfish, and much more. And that is the good effect about it. So it's just an adventure that we have to check on how things are just reared. So much of the people are talking about, again, to tell us about this kind of the cages I was ever talking about, different types of fish ponds. That kind of the cage, they're just installed where water depth is very high water depth, whereby they can just swim and they grow very quickly because of oxygen concentration is there, and also there is much of the food, and also the ocean. Talk about the lake on itself, it has its own water. Talk about food that it brings. So even that's why you see much of the water here. It's looking much of the greenish in color. Why is this looking like greenish in color? It's something that it's so awesome. Like this kind of the water is already that's why you see when water hyacinth and water lily attach to this kind of the water. Why is it having much of it's just growing very quickly? Why? It's because of this kind of the water has been enriched with the fertility. So it has its own naturality of the nutrients relevant for the growth of this kind of the crops, which is becoming so fantastic. So we are just going back to the show, and the good thing is that is one of the I think it's talk about the expensivest area here, and it's looking more fantastic at this particular moment here. Wow. This adventure, guys, it's very awesome here, very fantastic. I like about it because well, we are getting back to the show here, and I wanted it to be like a 20 minutes ride only, and everything will be so fantastic at this particular point. But water here, it's looking different. Why is this water different from the other one?
Because we have an inlet over there.
Oh, there's a
river pouring water.
There's a river bringing water?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like you can just imagine about
the river from Nandi.
Oh, Nandi. A very big one? Okay. So that's why this water looks different because of the inlet that is bringing in. Wow. That's why it's looking so different. And this area is where now adventure is. Very fantastic. So we are coming to the parking. The good thing is that we have a parking lot here. Wow. We have reached. This is the area now. Fantastic. We are back to this point here, and he has to make sure that he's tying it before it could just be getting back to the water. So they have to tie using that kind of a rope. Exactly. That's very awesome. It's a very good adventure whenever you want to come to Africa. And fish is everywhere. Everywhere is fish. You can just get some fish from this kind of the spot here, which is becoming so fantastic. So I'm going to be coming down from this kind of the point, and much of the people watching this kind of the video, thank you very much for you being tuned and locked in. We are just outside here to make sure that everything is fantastic. But we have much of the copyrights here, but everything going to be coming to you live. Hello beautiful people, back again to the route of today. Here we are, it's one-on-one live, and we are here to make sure that everything is proportionally done, and we are back to the site one-on-one. Wherever you are coming from, thank you very much. I'm just democratizing to the center here to make sure that everything is fantastic. So today as we are here, talk about the soil that I came to the last time here, and I told you that we have so bulkiness of the soil. Talk about the sand soil that was just here. So today we have democratized to harvest much of the soil from this kind of the caliber, and today is today. Tomorrow gonna be another day. So as we are at this kind of the point, we are talking about we are onto the grassroots. There's no stopping, no backward. We are heading forward every time, always Ginto A, wow, Ginto B, woo, Ginto C, react. Ginto D, yeah man, and this is the fantastic module for us here. Much of the ground fall here. We have the boys here. Hey, how are you, man?
I'm fine, man.
Everything is good. I see you are fantastic. Eh? So guys, the boys who are just democratizing with the soil, talk about the sand soil to that area, and it's very califragistically good. And I told you that we're going to be making sure that we are helping the needy to have every kind of the things that they need. Talk about like this kind of the work we are doing here is to help the vulnerables to have a toilet. The toilet means that this kind of the soil is very fantastic. We have a bulk of the soil here, and it's going to be used in terms of sand, so we can just use it to construct a toilet. Already we are at the spot. Whoever is talking about Ginto A, Ginto this, Ginto that one, no. We are together as one, and we're going to be prevailing with this kind of the work from this kind of the fantastic area right now. So I think, hey bro, hey, come. Beba basi ndo moja twende, si ndio? Yeah man. So we want to democratize with the soil. Talk about we want to democratize the sand to the home, because it's going to be a little bit far, but guys, I'm back again, and everything is so fantastic here, one-on-one live. My camera went the way it was just gone, so I'm just using the phone here a little bit. So you'll have to capture some of the scenes here a little bit how they are. So one-on-one live coverage from this kind of the spot, and I talked about I'm going to be coming back to this kind of the regime to make sure that everything is handled very fantastic at this kind of the point. So here I am. I have my mom. She's here. Very fantastic sitting here. And I promised you that I'm going to be coming to construct them a toilet. And Ginto is no longer faking. No shenanigans, no telenovela. We are here. So we are here to make sure that everything is covered very fantastic, and I feel characteristically good whenever I come to this kind of the position, so that I can just have a little bit of a talk to the mom here a little bit, but we understand the condition and how everything is, but Ginto is onto the spot to make sure that everything gonna be handled very fantastic here. And the good fact is I'm here to make sure that I'm starting with the toilet, and already we have democratized with much of the sand soil. I can just go back to this kind of the point, and much of the boys they are here. It is just making sure that he's preparing the field, and he's called, what's your name, man? Jeff Koinange. Or Jeff who? Jeff Kuria, and he is here to make sure that everything is fantastic, and is now preparing a field to make sure they're going to be placing the the sand soil here. So the sand soil is going to be democalized at this kind of the fantastic area, so you can just have everything getting on. So we have this kind of the ones we're going to be using the we can call them the buckets here, so you can just withdraw much of the sand soil from the river. It is approximately 120 meters from the river, and we're gonna, I think about going to be working. So I have the boy here. You want the work, man? Your name is Nyangoko. So you want the work? Unataka kazi? Exactly. Chukua ndo. Tusombe hiyo kitu, si ndio? Yeah, they have to make sure that the work going to be progressing right now. Whenever you see Gintu onto the field, everything is one way. There's no way of talking about the shagara bagara reaction, east, west, and south. No. Even whenever you see me here, I'm just wearing this kind of it's going to be a reflector to make sure that much of the people should be doing much of the work here very characteristically good. So the good thing is yesterday it was Mayani who was supervising much of the works, because yesterday I was not available. I had went for much of 2-3 things here to do. And everyone who's being democratized to watch this kind of the channel from this kind of the fantastic way. We are talking about there's ever way getting forward. There's no return. The return is no longer there. Even sometimes, even a person who invented a reverse gear, I don't know how he understood and just invented such kind of a reverse gear. But to understand, the reverse gear is using gear number 1. So as you can just turn it opposite. So that's the only thing that they are using, those kind of the filaments that are having some of the teeth like very like structures. And whenever you put a reverse gear, it goes under and attach itself like sometimes and they get something called a reverse gear gonna become. But it's attached in gear number 1. So the good thing is, if Gintu is gear number 1, much of the people will come and talk about, let us invent a reverse gear. So as whenever Gintu is getting forward as a forward gear, they're gonna be attaching themselves in there. So as they can just talk about, now we are just behind and clogging behind like mongoose. There's no problem, but we're going to be making things to come to you live one-on-one. And I like this kind of the environment, very cool breezes here. And I think that's why we have our mother. She's always sitting at this kind of the fantastic. And much of the people will be asking about what are this kind of the stuffs for. She's just using this kind of the stuff to get the flies out of him or out of her, because of how she is, much of the flies going to be coming. And this is the way they're just using it. But they're going to be looking for the best one, so they can just be using, because sometimes the leaves going to be drying up. You can even see they have dried up. And who is going to be getting this kind of the leaves, so as you can just continue this kind of the work. Things going to be getting a little bit to this kind of the fantasy. Gintu is onto the spot, as no one will ever hinder our emotion not to do it fantastic. Exactly. We are together like one. Tan, tan, tan. Yeah, exactly. We are together like one here. Fantastic. So the work going to be commencing, and the guys are now getting to the brim point. We're going to be helping them a little bit. Yeah. Exactly. Help me. Introduce yourself, man. Today.
Okay, guys. Yeah, welcome, man. And welcome back at It Is Gintu _ My name is Peter, man.
Peter, man. And we are here. And you're going to be the one who is going to be getting the tender. Yeah. Is the one who is, I like a person who talks about, oh, Gintu, let me part of the program and help. So as we can just construct. You're going to be getting the tender one-on-one to make sure that he's the one who's going to be building it, because he's a top mason. He can measure, he can analyze, and he can excavate to make sure that everything is so fantastic. So he's on the duty to make sure that tomorrow going to be commencing the toilet as soon as possible. Yeah. We are on the time. Let's get the point, man. Thank you very much. Guys, I'm just back. I have the security is tight. My friends, why are you kagululized? No. I'm checking. What's the problem here? So everything's good? Yeah, I like it. I have the security is tight. Gintu is always working with the security. Security is tight. Everyone who's being tuned and locked in. Well, I like this kind of the fantastic way. I don't know if it's just a hit, but it's looking like a hit. You're gonna be going for a ping here. There's no problem here. Exactly. Guys, we are back to see this kind of the hole that was just dug at this kind of particular moment here. So the hole is 8 feet deep, and you can even see how it is, and it's large enough to accommodate, because they are of 2 only. People are just making sure that they're going to be using this kind of the toilet. You can even see how it is. This is the hole that was constructed, or talk about excavated yesterday, and Mayani was supervising this kind of the work, because I was no longer available at that particular time. So we are preparing everything. The good fact about it, I've already given out the work and the mandate. There's a person who is because we have so many, it's like talk about this area is we're having a hill there. You can see much of the rocks here. So I told the people that if we have rocks here and the road to come here, it's not accessible. I could have used the tuk-tuk, but there's no way a tuk-tuk can again reach at this kind of the spot. It will never get. So that's why I'm using much of the human labor to make sure that just bringing and democratizing with much of the sand soil at the spot to make sure that we are starting the work as soon as possible. I've given out the tender. One of the guys are just bringing much of the hardcore. They are just here and it's gonna be hit so they can just get the ballast from here. That is the fantastic way ever possible. And that's why I like about how the things are gonna be moving at this kind of the particular moment. And the good fact is I've talked about this is the work that we're going to be doing and making it happen. Because I understand much of the people are fighting Gintu, much of the people are talking bad about Gintu because of what I'm just doing. And they'll never do it because I'm just there for money and many people. If we are talking about we're going to be defaulting with Gintu, much of the people talk about, oh, are you normal? So sometimes they will talk about, do you know how the villagers are benefiting from Gintu? Look at this kind of the house here. After finishing the toilet, I'm coming to build this house. Talk about, it's going to be placed here. And I was told that this is going to be the space because the father told us that this kind of an area, it's going to be effective, but this zone is not his. I was consulting because before I do something, I have to consult, I have to be told, and I have to analyze and get it. That this kind of the zone, it's not his. This is where this kind of the road, there's a small road that's passing here. This is a boundary. Even this kind of the house, because you can see the maize are just protruding to the house. It means that this kind of the house even, it's not unto the perpendicular of, talk about the boundary. So the boundary is passing through, you can even see some of the trees here. They were just planted so as he can know that this is where the boundary is. So we're going to be shifting him. We're going not to go to that far end, but we're going to build this kind of the house at this end here. Talk about this kind of the spot. So it's going to be very easy for them to access. I think this kind of the pawpaw plants, we're going to be dismantling them, but we will not harm them so properly, no. But we're going to be making sure that everything is set in a record. So that is what I want to do. But I think now everything is good. I want to ask her if she has just drank much of the tea or what's really happening. Unyoi chai? Or no kore? So yeah, she's talking about she has drunk the tea because last time I was here, I brought much of the things here, the bread, the sugar, and the milk, and it's only just making sure that they're gonna be enjoying their session. And Gintu, whenever Gintu is there, everything is so awesome and very meticulous. Everybody supporting Gintu, talking about Gintu, we go forward. Let's show them that there's no way a person can come and talk about that Gintu, whenever I'm talking about the toilet going to be built, is that a scam I'm doing? Whenever I'm talking about I'm going to be built this kind of the house, and is it that kind of a scam? So much of the people are failing, and it's not the first time I'm coming here, and even more much families are going to be tackling. And how much times I've talked about Gintu going to be getting the party, and Gintu going to be getting the party, and the party is there. And ask a person who has ever donated that, oh Gintu, I want help, please help me so as I can just buy much of the sanitary pads. And whenever I buy the sanitary pads, you can count on yourself. And that's why I always talk about everything should be put talk about it should be put in an open way, so as no one can talk about, oh, you know, Gintu told us gonna be having the party, where did it go? Somebody can talk about now you are scammed. Yes, you can talk about that one, but now I've talked about the party gonna be there, but you can see the party until some of the people we talk about Gintu, even if you talk about Gintu, we get some soda, they will be there because that money, it's not mine. And why couldn't I use that kind of the money to supplement and much of the people to enjoy? And if I talk about I'm going to be making the party, I'm just taking my time to make it happen. I'm analyzing, I'm arranging, I'm making it to happen. But some of the people are coming to talk about, oh, Gintu is this, Gintu is this. And yet, much of the people that have been supported, the boy, yes, make it happen, huh? Yeah. Let's make it happen, bro. Okay. Wagwan. The sand soil is democratizing like a safari rally. Even me here, I'm going to be taking a bucket to make sure that I'm just doing with it. Exactly. And on here, exactly. Let me take the bucket and all the boys that are just making sure that the sand soil is democratizing from there, it's going to be coming like a safari rally. And to the real G, I'm back to the grassroots. And I'm back to the same families that they are just denying my attention, and I'm helping the society, including the people who are just talking about, oh, you know, Gintu is this, Gintu is that one, but I'm here to make it happen, and I'll never give up. That is what they have to understand. And imagine, guys, the people who are fighting Gintu, and I'm telling you this as a fact, The people are fighting Gintu, and they're just making sure that they're just orienting and manipulating much of the scripts Gintu to be channeled as a bad person. These families are theirs. I'm taking care of, because our family and our area, we have settled everything. But I'm helping them at least to come out, at least. Whenever even something got bad there, they're going to be talking about, oh, you know, even they have much of the YouTubers. Oh, they have this and that. And I'm taking care of them. You can understand. Look at the script, how it was just written. And they're talking about one person. Are we living for only one person? It will be stupidical of our own nature. That, oh, we have to live because of our wife. We have to live because of this. If the life is becoming hard, fuck off and make it happen to other area. That's what I always talk about, because we cannot live to make sure that other people are becoming to intimidate us, that, oh, you know, A, B, C, D, oh. That is not the nature. Hey, madam. Salam alaikum. Alaikum salam. Mbiara mbuyore. Mambi ko chonjo. Tantu dia mbendo inchafu ni gosombo mo science. Hoere. Da trendo. Torogi. Arafu monge atono mpaka tuigosombo mo science. Usuwe. Acho hano. You know this guy, guys? And na viatu kwa. Guys, I bought him shoes. Viatu kwa. Hey, viatu. Guys, I have to ask this because I bought him shoes. And you understand the guy? Rina, ekikubrekero tokunta hitu. Na ekikubrekero. Avekero. Gesaina. Guys, you can just remember there's another home there that I went and I helped him with much of the shoes, and a sponge. Talk about a spring mattress that came from the UK, and they benefited with one. And viatu bwana, viatu iko wapi? Viatu iko wapi? Chafu. Umeshatupa? Tupa. You understand, guys? It's a little bit mentally challenged, but tugo sombo mo sense mkiendo mo sense. Yeah, we are going. He's talking about the liquor. You know, guys, in this kind of an area, they use they produce much of the liquor. So he's talking about it that wacha niende kusomba mchanga nakuja uko kwa Muitamoke uko juu. Sokoro, nakuja kwa Sokoro is grandfather. So whenever I talk about Sokoro, I talk about I'm just working at Sokoro there. Nguchanda ho sawa kwa Sokoro ayanga nyara hayo bako ye 10 I like this kind of the moment, guys, and I always jovialize, and I helped him. You can just remember I brought much of the mattress, guys. Much of the people, whoever is using Gintu, they understand. Whenever I talk about this kind of the things, gonna be going here, they're gonna be going there, I do it. And there's a person who talked about talking to this kind of the mattresses. Give whoever you think about you can give. And I could not use them that, okay, let me benefit, let me be the beneficiary. No, I always talk about we have to make it happen. And that is the way forward. And that's why I'm always talking about this is the way for us to make it happen. But we have much of the crackatoos and much of the insinuations and the manipulation that the Gintu should be this way and that way. No. Woo. The sand soil. Guys, I'm democratizing to the soil here. The sand soil is here. Wow. So much of the boys, they have just removed this kind of the soil from the river. Wow. The river is here, and they have just got a lot of soil from there. They were just gathering from there, and they were just the first way, they were just putting it there, and from transferring from there to the other section. So we are taking them from that far end to the home. So it's about 120 meters from the river, and that's what I want to do. I like this kind of the nature. Very awesome. Very, very awesome. Very awesome. You can even see how it is, and I like this kind of the nature. So guys, keep it tuned, keep it low, because Gintu will be there, Gintu should be there. We will make it happen. Despite the challenges, despite the logarithm, despite whatever is coming. Let us work and improvise. And whoever is watching this kind of the video, from wherever you are, boom, 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 tan tan, Gintu, tan tan, Gintu be yet, Gintu see, tan tan. We're gonna be making it happen, and that is the nature. Wow. Let's see here. Tantora ni wemono bono sasa. Twende nayo, hey. Yeah, we have the boys here, we are democratizing. He's just putting me here. Yeah, man. Wow. Let's go, let's make it happen. Start into a hand. Put me here. I want them to put me here. Fantastic. Wow. Yeah, gonna be making it happen. We are helping the nature. Wow. Exactly. Guys, it's a way of moving forward. And we have to strategize. We have to understand that when we are helping in terms of health issues, you understand the toilet is having an impact of sanitation and such kind of the way. So you can imagine the aged people there, where are they going to the toilet? Are they using whenever, okay, right now, we can talk about there's a maize fields here. They're going to be going to the maize fields, eh? But when now we harvest the maize, where are they going? Eh? You are passing through a way and you get a very aged person is squatting in an open zone. How are you going to be taking it? And that's why I always talk about let us not live in the legacy that much of the people prevail to talk about. We have to rechannel ourselves and make it happen. Oh, ichontareho. Buyore. Mambi ko chonjo. Guys, I've met him here and I'm just helping it to happen. But it is work. We are moving. Mbuyore lakini? Asante sana. Tuwe nsombo mosense. Icho tuchetuansi icho, bidonge ndarubi gucha. I'm talking about the medicine. Somebody talked about amoxicillin is not good. We're going to be having another one. So we're going to be buying the other one. Amoxicillin. Sawa. He's talking about is the good one. So I'm going to be getting the soil there and make sure that everything is so fantastic. Asante. Let me get to the brain point here. Wow. So it's very hard, but we are talking about the hard work, the hardships we are passing through is what is making us to have this kind of the legacy. And the pathways we are just making, it's the way forward. If we struggle for them, because right now they don't have the energy even to carry one spade of sand and get somewhere. So if we are reluctant, I'm talking about, because Gintu is getting much of the money to build the toilets, to build and to support much of the people, you are becoming so jealousy about whatever you can, even you can do it. Nobody has refused that you cannot do the charity, but try your best. Whenever the money gonna be democratizing at you, they will understand the strategy of Gintu. They will understand it. Because much of the people think about, whenever they see Gintu is having. So sometimes we have to comply on ourselves. We have to make it happen on ourselves. And this is the legacy. Wow. We have to make it happen. Yeah. I've reached here. Wagwan. Mshafika. Guys, we are moving, Mayanko Moreke. Yeah, man. We are moving, guys. That's a one bucket, but more and more to go. And now I'm gonna be cutting this kind of the video so as I can just make this kind of the work come out effectively. So wherever you're coming from, I like you and respect. Contribute, guys. I'm always talking about whoever want to support Gintu to make it happen. There's no way your money will ever be eaten. We understand that much of the lumamongers, we have much of the dominant people want to talk about, Gintu gonna be this way. If I've just democratized here to make sure that I'm building them. And you can see it. We are making the work to come out. That is the fantastic way ever possible. Let's get back to much of the things and we're gonna be coming back to you one-on-one. This is just the beginning. Keep it tuned. I'm gonna be coming to you one-on-one.